Ladies, welcome to the training, and today we're going to talk about the 5 phases belly flat formula and how do you get to reveal a flat stomach into 90 days or less without cutting off dessert. Okay, I just wanted to make it a little bit more enticing for those of you watching or watching from home or whatever the case might be. But again, it's all about sustainability. It's all about how you're able to build a body that you love, getting rid of the stubborn imperfection, the stubborn fat imperfection that probably if you're here right now, it's part of your life. It's part of something that you've been trying to do for a very long time. And chances are is impacting your life. Chances are it's really forcing you to putting up a facade, sometimes maybe with other people, not realizing, maybe people feel like, you're okay, you look good, or it's not that bad. Yet, whatever that means to you, it means that you're not able to do the things that you want to be doing. You're not able to dress how you want to be dressing. You're not able to maybe have the intimacy you want to have with your partner. You're not able to have this credibility you want to have in your job. And therefore, today, we're going to dive deep into understanding how do you drop 15 kilos or 20 or 30 pounds almost of stubborn belly fat in 12 weeks or less. And I'm going to give you the framework to make sure to really go into depth in record time to lose things such as love handle, midsection, trouble spots, those part of your body that are so hard to eliminate, those fat that is so hard. And doing all that, eating what you like to eat, okay? Because we know that if you tried stuff in the past, diets, extreme diet, it's not about the diet you do, it's about you're not able to maintain the results that you want to be maintaining. And at times, it's really about not be able to do that because you don't have a framework, you don't have an idea of what to do, how to do it, okay? So today, I'm gonna show you how do you build the body you want, and specifically, how do you change even the woman that you are inside? How do you shift your identity to be able to maintain it so that you can go to the mall and really be able to buy that dress that you want to buy? And how do you do that is with a system. If you haven't not got the results that you wanted to have until today, chances are you didn't get a system in place. And of course, that means not a diet, not a workout, but a step-by-step pathways that is going to take you from where you are today to the woman that you have to become. And what do you get on that? I always get this question. I try to break it down here. How do you get, what do you get when you get into this program, into this step-by-step? It's really everything and beyond, like everything and everything that you can imagine, one-to-one support, group calls, apps. But this might be a little bit confusing, we're gonna dive deep into dissecting all one by one so that you can get a chance to understand. So who am I? This is Jerry here, Coach Jerry, and why should you even listen to me aside from the fact that I have 20-year experience, certifications, degrees in nutrition and fitness? You should really listen to me because I was able to help more than 400 ladies completely change on the outside, but also shift on the inside. This was lady that was struggling with emotional eating. And as you can see here, most of them, they had an inflexible metabolism and they were storing fat around different areas of their body, most of it around the midsection and that. And if you stay here, like throughout the training and you follow the direction I'm giving you, it's really a few steps you need to take, because the most important currency, in my opinion, is not money, like many people want to believe. It's really time. Okay, so what you're gonna learn here today, you're gonna learn a proven system, a proven step-by-step pathways that is gonna allow you to get the results you want. But on top of that, when you stay until the end, like when you are here and you're watching this, and you do the things that I'm asking you to do, is pretty much paying attention and really being here not just to get stuff for free, but basically being here because you have a problem to fix, then you're getting the chance to win, as you saw on maybe a video before with me. And what you're getting the chance to win is basically this, okay? I'm gonna share to you right now. And these things that you're getting the chance to win is basically the program, the second chance program, and which is basically a program worth easily, this site alone is worth $1,000, that got the ability to other ladies, as you saw before, to get the results that we're getting. Okay, so you're getting pretty much meal plans, like everything and behind everything and anything. You're getting like how to understand how the emotional eating. This is the first version of our program, and you can see all the phases here. And again, it's not about how now we making like we shifting the branding and we shift it to the flawless body method, but it's about to be able to understand what gives people results, okay? And what gives people results is basically, as I share my screen one more time here, what gives people results is the ability to learn something. And as you'll see, this is something that you see very often. You go online and you want to learn something, and you go on YouTube and you go to a trainer and you go, like, they always want to teach you something, but then they don't teach you how to apply it. Like, you have to like learn something, applying it, right? So get the support that makes you apply this thing, and then optimizing, getting a coach or somebody that knows what they're doing to optimize and to see what are the mistakes that are happening, how can we improve that. If you're gonna be able to do that, you're gonna get the results, as I mentioned before, that all these ladies, and here Pilar, you see that when she came to me and asked me, like, this is gonna be the last thing I try, otherwise I have to resort to liposuction. And again, this is one of the stories, and we have, hundreds of those. And it's really about being able to shift who you are as a person, and having somebody that has experience watching over what happened on a monthly basis, okay? Because if you're here, probably you're tired of the false promises. You're tired of like trying, all this low carbs, keto, body type diet, detox cleans and all that stuff, or supplements, just to feel like it's working for other people, but it's not working for me. Okay, and you might have tried that with you might fall all the time for the magic pill, for the thing that you feel is gonna work, because they tell you, oh, but you haven't tried coming to a trainer, you haven't tried this machinery that you see here, EMS, and it's one-to-one, and you have the attention, and you only to realize that this is a service that you're buying for an hour, and they have no idea what you're doing when you're eating it. And as we know, the stomach is made on the kitchen, like most of the time it's made on the kitchen, right? So you always fell for things that you know it's not going to work, or you feel like it's not going to work, and yet you feel like you want it to work, only to end up getting some results and then like blaming your genetics, falling back, losing some weight, getting it back, and becoming like a smaller, if you're a Apple version or a pear version, pear shape, you just become a smaller version of that, but you don't like what you see in the mirror. You lose those 10 pounds, or 5 kilo, 10 kilo, whatever, and then like you're getting everything back. And you end up getting to see a pattern all the time, and you end up feeling like, this my genetic is impossible. I need specificity, right? And of course, you don't understand that it's only a temporary solution, and you end up frustrated, okay? So why this thing is happening, like why do you have that situation here, right? It's because you're not clear that it's not a weight loss program or weight loss solution you're looking for, is a shape change solution, okay? Like, it's not so much about the weight, but it's about the shape that you need to be changing. So there are hormone involvement, there is you must exercise in a certain way and move in a certain way, you must eat in a certain way, such that you're not only able to shift your weight down, but you're also able to change your shape, okay? And as we do that, you're gonna understand today that starting from the first part, which is basically phase one, which is like going from feelings to fact, and understand how to track results, is that if you know there is the 3 measurements that you have to take, right? And you're able to measure that you're getting results, then you know you have certainty, right? So if we take our tape measurement here on the hip, on the waist, on the chest, and you do that waist to chest ratio, dividing that measurement here, and you do that the same thing, right, on the chest to hip ratio. If you are able to get that number close to 6.9 or 7, you're gonna always know that you're improving, okay? So right now, if you take your measurement, chances are like you're not where you wanna be, like if you don't have a perfect hourglass shape, chances are every time you do some exercise, you do some protocol, as we said before, every time you learning something, right, and you applying something, you can then measure more effectively than just with weight, that you're getting the results you want, okay? And this is just one of the steps that we need to take, okay? This is how we were able to get Valentina to get rid of water retention, cellulitis, and you can see here on the right, this is like 2 weeks after almost, and she went 22% to 17% body fat, weighing pretty much the same thing, okay? So it's not only about the weight, but why does this happen all the time? Is because if we move to the nutrition part, right? It's because you're not able to understand that this dieting mentality, this exercise more, extreme exercise more, and eating less or doing extreme diets creates a stressor for your body that your body can only react in a certain way, can only react on basically what you see in here, okay? So the way it says, a way it reacts is like you have 2,000 calorie maintenance for a diet, you're supposed to live on a 300 to 500 calorie deficit in order for you to lose weight. When you do a diet, you see here, you're always down 1,000 calories per day. And as you do that, the metabolism, just like the sign it here, it creeps down. It goes from 2,000 to 3,000 like that, and goes to something like 1,200. And then in order for you to lose weight more after 2 weeks, this is usually why after 2 weeks you're not able to get some results anymore, you need to be able to exercise more or eating less. So you understand that we cannot just exercise, like you cannot just eat 800 calories. So what do you do by nature? Your physiology is making you hungry, and then you eat the same 2,000 calories you were eating before. And again, this is arbitrary numbers. And as you do that, then you gain weight. This is basically the yo-yo effect, what is known as the yo-yo effect. So how do you get to change that? Is basically by stop dieting, so you restore your hormonal balance, cycling nutrition, so you decrease metabolic compensation, so you decrease this thing here going down, so you only maybe go down for like, let's say 1,800 calories, right? So you decrease your metabolism slowing down, and then you target, assess, target, optimize. So you target to eliminate stubborn fat. This is the simple way, okay? And how do you do that? In less of eating less and exercising more is by acting like an athlete, okay? So more workouts, but you also eating more. Or you eating less, but you also exercising less. In other words, you either raise this bar up and you eat more, or you raise this bar down and you eat less and you move less. So it's easy to understand how the metabolism works if you understand that it's almost like a thermostat. It's like you basically going up and down, and this is basically the way it works, okay? So moving forward, we understand, you're probably gonna ask me, okay, cool, I might have heard this before. How do I get this nutritional part down, and how do I get to lose weight? Because we know that, like, if you're not able to make this happen, if you're not able to get results, it's because you always end up either counting calories or restricting food or taking off, or believing that there is food that it's limiting you from achieving the results. Nothing of that is more far from the truth. There is no magic food. There is no specific formula. Is only like something that you can sustain, and it's all about making it in a way that you can sustain, okay? All the cases are different, and this is why I always emphasize, for me to be able to really diagnose somebody from and say, okay, this is your particular formula right now. But it's about being able to create that sustainable calorie deficit and keep your body that is not stressing, okay? And it's easy, okay? So most part, that you need to understand, and we have this, and I try to make it like, there is 2 specific strategies you want to be mastering, and this is arbitrary numbers here, but you want to be acting in a way that, you'll see now why we eat and why do we struggle so much with food, but it's all why we eat and why we struggle so much with food is because, we always hungry, so we go from starving, right, from hungry, satisfied, and then we eat for taste. We eat for fulfillment, and we eat for taste. And this is very important and crucial to understand, because this 80-20 flexible nutrition, it acts in a way that it could also be 70-30 or 60-40, depending what, like, usually the more weight you have to lose, you're gonna have better habits ingrained into you. You're gonna have a metabolism that from all, quote unquote, the mistake you have done in the past is very hard to adapt. And you might want to be starting with 60-40. 60, it means that 60% of the nutrition you eating in that you see here. So you're eating like between 3 and 4 meals. two out of three meals is usually vegetable-based and protein-based and some healthy fats. And one or two, depending what you do, it's a complete meal, okay? Then it's important for you to understand that the 20, 30, whatever the case is, there is a good 5 to 10% of food that you want to be eating. So you can eat your tiramisu, you can eat your pizza, as long as you understand how much you eat. Like, as long as you understand that you might be full with a couple of slices of pizza instead of the whole pizza, go for it. But we found a way to be more smart with that, like smarter, okay? We found a way to include cheat meals pretty much every day, because we're finding a way to be able to maximize this process, okay? We eat, like I said before, for hunger or for satisfaction, okay? So we always want to be eating, we want to be feeling like, you never want to be feeling starving, you never want to be feeling stuffed. You want to be feeling in between hunger and full. Now, many people say, oh, I don't want to be hungry. Well, tough luck. Like here, in the reality, in the real world, like if you want to lose weight, your hormones are going to make you hungry. Okay, so the good idea is that you need to be able to hack your way of not feeling hungry. So how do you do that without falling for the binges, without falling for the food you shouldn't be falling for? It's basically understanding that you want to be eating between a 0 and 10 taste level. You want to be eating between 5 and 8, right? And you want to be always using food that is going to be having you feel full. So high volume food, right? But low calorie dense food, okay? So if you do that, if you hit 100 that, right? It's going to be clean eating, boring food. You're not going to be able to sustain it because you always feel like you're in a diet. And on top of that, you can never go out. You cannot do the things you want to be doing. You cannot go to the social events anymore. And opposite wise, if you're eating, as you see here, too much on the higher side, if you're eating too tasty, then you're forced to eat those food like the combo of fat and sugar, like desserts that make you all the time more hungry. So how do you do that? And this is the great part, is that you're able to create foods that are low calorie in nature by high density food, okay? Meaning like high volume food. So you can literally see that on desserts. You can do that with low calorie style of pizza. You can do that cooking lunch and dinners. Like, there is a lot of things that you can do, and we got it down in a way that if for 70 to 80% you do this, right, and you use these foods, like, you're able to eat whatever you want every single day, okay? And how would you know whether or not this nutrition is working? Is that, number one, you will see the results on the mirror. Number two, you'll see your weight going down. And number three, you see your hormonal feedback improving, okay? This is how hormone works. And I know that you've been probably asking yourself, telling yourself, oh, I don't, my metabolism is not working, my thyroid is bad, I got this test that I did. And again, do you need to do all that? Not really. It's like, if you are able to understand feedbacks on your body, if you're able to sleep, if you can rate your sleep and you rate your sleep and it's good, if your level of hunger is better, right, that you used to have cravings all the time, you no longer have cravings, if your mood is okay, if your energy is high, chances are all the hormones, which pretty much includes insulin, which pretty much includes cortisol, the adrenals, and the ratio between testosterone and estrogen, if all these things that you see here are on check, chances are these things are balanced. You don't need to go to the doctor. You don't need to test your thyroid, right? And as you do that, there is only two things that give you results: hormonal balance and calorie deficit. Okay, this is how some people get results with things like keto. The problem is that they're not sustainable, right? And again, you need to understand: are we limited from our genetic? Is this real? Sure, but most of the time it's not the genetic that is limiting you, it's the mistakes that you've done, right? Results are created with repetitive action. So it's also true that the mistakes that you've done in the past, or your lack of action or your lack of consistency, it's what creates the problem, right? And unfortunately, it creates a metabolic inflexibility. And unfortunately, this is real when we talk about insulin resistance, which is basically like that, call it thing before you become diabetic. And basically is that the malfunction of your cell receptor related to the glycemic load of the body, okay? So in other words, this is where timing comes in. This is where carbohydrates quantity comes in, like eating too much carbohydrates is not good, but eating too little is also not good. And I have that, right? So I'm insulin resistant. So that means that instead of your body burning fat when you're at rest and burning sugar when you work out, it's burning on the body. And you see here, metabolically inflexible is burning a little bit of everything all the time, right? Like this is the healthy person, right? Burning fat when you're not doing anything, burning sugar when you are working out, when you're not working out, and when you are working out, you kind of burn everything. Okay, so it's like makes it a little bit hard to have the weight loss that you want to be having. Is that what's limiting you from achieving it? Absolutely not. But you do need to understand that the solution is behind nutrition, and it's behind, of course, the movement and exercise. Okay. And again, when we're talking about nutrition, and you need to understand that the perfect, when I call it stubborn fat perfect plate, you know, it's a half of it vegetable, right? Maybe it could also be a serving of fruit, but in that case, you don't get to hit carbs after. Then lean protein, right? Animal or whatever lean protein. And then there is this part of carbohydrate that could go from 5 to 15 bites, you know, and this is supposed to be for 45 meals out of 16 a week. And you need to understand this part, because this is where the personalization comes in. This is where we go back to that trying and applying and that optimizing. And again, this is what gets people like Lorna here to be able to create her bikini body at the age of 47. It's not about the perfect nutrition, it's about being able to do the right things for a long period of time, okay? And when it comes to how do you build the body that you want, right? It comes down to exercise. And this again, it's a science in a way that you need to understand this all stress related, okay? Most ladies that are here that cannot lose the weight that they want to be losing around the stomach area, it's because they either don't have enough stress on their body when it comes to exercise and movement, or they have too much of it, okay? And this is how you need to be able to understand what to do. And again, when it comes to exercise, there is a couple of things that works, but usually is that one is movement. Then you need to implement movement. I'm gonna do a video separated about movement one time, like to how to implement that and how to get to move more daily. And when it comes to exercise, it's really short burst exercises that are able to get you burning, that are able to get you breathless, that are able to get you heated, right? Sweaty, because like all these things indicates that right now your hormones are kicking in, right? And you're able to then see what we said before, the difference between getting a smaller shape that you are or changing your shape. And again, this is also Marisa here, she came to me taking depression medication. And I remember she was saying to me, it's like, I really need to find a way to change because I don't like what I see in the mirror. I really don't like like she was getting depressed about the way she was looking, right? And you can see here, it took almost like 9 months to a year, but she was able to lose 60 pounds or 30 something kilo and keep it down and shift in her mindset to become this lady that she loved what she's doing, movement and workout, and she ended up running marathons as well. So with this being said, why did I want to touch on that is because for a very long time, I couldn't understand that, especially before I started doing things online. Why do people lose weight? And 95% of the people, why do 95% of the people lose weight, but then they gain everything back? And 55% of them, by chance, they're getting more than they started with. And again, it comes down to understanding why people quit. Why people stop doing something that it worked for them. And at times you ask them why, and they don't even know why, right? It comes down to motivation. They say to me that I don't have motivation. I have low self-esteem. I have doing social comparison. I'm never gonna get there. Like you're watching somebody being successful and you feel like you cannot get there. You're stressed, right? But it comes down to really one thing, comfort addiction. Like being able to understand that I'm not able to do the things that I know I need to be doing for a long time, even though when they working, right? Lack of vision and for addiction. I always want to feel like, I feel good where I am. Because like if you're not losing weight, or if you actually lost weight and you get it back, it's because of small little things such as, it's just 2 cookies. I'm gonna eat these 2 cookies because I deserve it, right? And at the end of the week, you don't understand that these 2 cookies at the end of the month equal to 10 cheeseburgers and equals to about 0.5 to a kilo of fat. And that means that you're failing not because of the cookies. You're failing because you don't understand the way you think around things and food, right? For the things you allow yourself to believe. And why would you do that? Is because I have a hard time at the job, because I deserve it, right? Because this comfort zone thing here, instead of like you getting out of it and stretching it out to become a bigger comfort zone, right? To become more addicted to things that are more difficult, you always stay there and you always want to feel in that little bubble, right? And that, so if you do that and everything else sucks, and like, this conversation wasn't good, I just didn't get a compliment that I wanted to get, I just gonna get that, I just gonna do an extra drink when I go out. Like if you keep doing that and you don't sacrifice things, right? Even though when they're working, then the comfort zone always stays small and you get addicted to comfort. And this is how people lose, right? And it's about, and how can we make this easy? Is stop looking for motivation. Motivation is something really good in the beginning, and then like, as you see, if you have to put more work in to get the same results and you don't achieve that, motivation dies. And you only live if you build habits. You only are able to sustain results. This is why we're so successful with this, is because we teach you how to build habits. If you build habits and you show up for my calls, and you're able to then get motivated from the lecture, and every time you feel like quitting, you don't, because I tell you what to do, not to quit, right? And if you see other people succeeding like yourself, right? Or people like Mimi that, she came with a very hard traumatic past, yet she was able to see fitness as a reward instead of like a drag or something, a drag that you have to do, then you get results and you keep results, okay? So it's very important to understand that no matter what a situation is, there is always a way out and it's never too late. But you need to understand that there is only 2 scenarios. Number one is a scenario that you believe right now. There is a perfect diet, a perfect workout. If I do this exercise plus this particular diet, this system that I heard, this solution, this coach that I've been hearing, like then you're gonna get to the results. And 3 years passes by and you have the same problems, the same issue, the same pains, the same uncertainty, right? And if you understand instead why this is working, is because that there is 2 trajectory at least. Let's make it like there is 2 only, like there is actually more, but let's say there is 2, right? You understand that there is a physiological trajectory that you need to learn skills around your nutrition, around your workout, around getting better every single day. And there is a mental, psychological trajectory that is not gonna make you feel for, I have no time, I'm stressed, I need to go to vacation. It's not that solution that you do from here and then you stop, but it's something that you need to do forever. My hope is for you to be able to learn the keys and get the assistance you need, no matter what the situation is, to be able to do that. So no matter what you're watching right now, if you're here, if you're in StreamYard, if you're watching from any other channel, at this point that you've seen this, you have a chance to actually win something, to win the second chance program that we saw before. And how you do that is really by getting your Kickstart package just for showing up. And the way it works is that, we used to give calls to people that needed help, right? We don't just necessarily give calls anymore unless you come to these trainings. And what I mean by calls is that you need, at this point, in order for you to be able to win this program, and there is going to be a winner, you need to be able to show up to these calls, right? And you need to be able to really show me that you need help. Like you need to be able to have a situation. You need to be able to say, yes, I'm willing to change for the situation. And you're going to be able at this time, if you are in the chat here, you can go to the chat, and I'm going to open this here on when I stop sharing the screen on the chat. I'm going to be dropping a link, and this links shows you, or better say, if you want to be getting that, I want you to type win inside that, and I'm going to be contacting you with a link that you need to be booking a call with me or one of my coaches to be able to see your situation, okay? Upon these calls that I'm seeing, these forms, whoever show me that they give a shit when they fill it up, that they actually care, I'm gonna be seeing whoever this has the most compelling situation, and I'm gonna be talking to you, okay? And when we talk, and then those that in fact say, that shows me that I actually need help, then I'm gonna put this into a software, and this software is gonna generate a random selected name, and this, you know, is gonna allow you to win the second chance program. And on top of that, of course, to get diagnosed the, you know, your specific case. Now, if you're not winning that, let's say that you obviously there is only one person that can win at a time, there is still going to be second chance prizes, meaning like there are going to be prizes that I'm going to give away as a second place and a third place, I believe. And this is going to really give you the opportunity to be able to kickstart, to have this kickstart package that I want you to have, whether or not you decide that, you know, working with me is a fit or not. It's really about getting you getting you to a solution. If you're here, well, like I said before, hopefully you're not here necessarily to get stuff free, but you're here to shift your mentality, done with a quick fix and actually getting a results. And with this being said, I hope this was helpful. This is the explanation of the 5 phases, and probably now it's a little bit more clear on why you're not getting the results until today, and what you need to do to get the results when it comes to change your health. And with this being said, drop in a chat or contact me in Messenger, telling me this. Just type the word win. It shows me that you want the training, and from there I'm gonna give you instruction how to continue and how to get that going. Jerry here. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.